Hi, you guys. It's Laura Godwin here, Superstar Director. I hope I'm in the right page. That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? All right, so I am completely honored to be here with you guys. Just absolutely thrilled that Stacey asked me to come and talk to you guys. It is such an honor. I mean that with every ounce of my being. So my name is Laura Godwin. I'm a Superstar Director from Georgia, and I'm just super excited that she's put together this fantastic place for you guys to come together and network. I just feel it's just such a neat society, right? We're so blessed that our leaders want the best for us. And so I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me, and then I'm going to share with you some maybe checklist type style of just things that I feel like are super important to leaders no matter what they want out of Scentsy, and more about why each one of these things are super important to me, and how they've impacted my journey. So a little bit about me. I joined Scentsy in 2009. I'm a kitnapper. Anybody else join for the kit? I just wanted the kit. I had actually really failed at direct sales before. Anybody else have that same story? Yeah, so without saying any names, because there's no need, but I really gave my heart and soul to another direct sales company when I was 18. And oh my gosh, you guys, I worked it so hard, and I really did it to the best of my ability, and it failed miserably. And so I learned right then direct sales wasn't for me. I was okay with that. We all know what we're destined to do, right? And so when Scentsy came along and I fell in love with the product in 2009, I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is fantastic, and no, we can't afford everything that I want, but sorry, every time my direct sales lady would ask me to join Scentsy, I'd be like, nope, been down that road before. I mean, you guys, the sting was still so real, right? You know, like, I just knew that that was not going to be in the cards for me. And so I told her no for 4 months. What was I thinking, right? I started buying from her in the end of October, start of November of 2008. Oh my gosh. And didn't join until February 2nd. Like, what was I thinking, right? I skipped the Christmas rush and all the good fall things, right? Like, it could have been massive. But anyway, I say all of that to say that I told my consultant nicely but firmly no for 4 months. And how many of us give up on someone because they say no once, right? Let that be a lesson. It sure has been a lesson for me. Anyway, so I joined just because the kit, because honestly, the wish list was bigger than the wallet. Can I get a witness, right? So I joined Scentsy just because that starter kit seemed like the most amazing idea ever. And we didn't even have the $99, but I'm like, you know what? This is going to be a good thing. I'm going to turn all those testers upside down in my warmers, and I'm going to get a year's worth, right? And then I hit director 6 months later. Like, what in the world? To go from failing so bad in a direct sales company that I could not even, oh my gosh, you don't even want to know the sad story, right? But then I go from that to coming to Scentsy and actually coming into it with a defeated mindset. But oh my gosh, you guys, we are part of something powerful. And my story is one of probably thousands and hundreds of thousands, right? Honestly. And the power of Scentsy is just strong. The community of Scentsy is strong. We know the products are powerful, right? But it's more than that. What makes us thrive in Scentsy is what we're doing tonight. We are together. We are united. We are on the same path, and we are networking and brainstorming with like-minded people. And who cares if some of us are in this journey a little bit before, or who cares if some of us are a little bit further along or making a little bit more money? We all share and network, and don't ever lose that magic, ever, no matter what your title is, right? Okay, so that's a little bit about my story. Well, I guess I didn't finish, right? How can we finish? We're still going. Every day I'm trying to hit bigger things, right? But yeah, so I hit director in 6 months, superstar director a year later. So I've been a superstar director since 2010. I have Global Empire, I love to call them. It's just so neat how Scentsy just grows and everybody wants in. And we're going to talk about some of the things that I did in the early days that worked so well. I still do them now, 11 years later. Crazy. I'll talk a little bit about myself personally, just to give you a little bit of an idea of who I am other than the heavy accent, right? So I am a homeschooling mama. We homeschooled before it was cool, before COVID mandated it. I'm a former teacher, lower elementary school teacher, and I told myself, hey, I taught everybody else's kids. I'm going to teach my own. Yeah, well, a little bit easier said than done, but we're doing it. He's in 8th grade now, you guys. He's a little golfer. He has played baseball a lot. We're super involved in church and our community. I CrossFit. I'm a CrossFit coach now. That's a new journey that I just recently have started. And you guys, I will tell you this, 11 years into this, there is not one part of our lives that haven't been positively, completely, dramatically changed because of this opportunity of Scentsy. Like, there's not one part. I mean, just to give you a little bit of just one, I promise not to stay on here long, but one little thing. Do you know that even my pets are thankful that Laura joined Scentsy in 2009? Yeah, they really are, because they get the bougie food. They get all the special treatments, like they get clothes for everything, clothes for elf suits and Thanksgiving stuff, and clothes for Easter. And I mean, my pets go to the best vet, not the one that's the convenient vet, the best vet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every part of our lives have been impacted positively because we took a risk, and I disregarded what I had failed in before, and I believed again. So, oh my gosh, I could tell you a little bit more about me, but I really just want to jump into why I'm here, and that is to share with you a little bit of my story, and help you guys maybe look at Heading Director a little bit differently than maybe what you've looked at it before. I've been told before, and I don't know if it's true, but I'm not afraid to wave the flag if it's true, that I'm unconventional. I don't look at direct sales and Scentsy and this path and this opportunity the same way everybody else does. And I like it that way, because the way I look at it is that, yes, I think outside the box, and I think a little bit differently than everybody else, but I realize that we aren't all created the same, thankfully, and we're all different. And so I hope that something that I say tonight sparks a little something inside your soul that makes you freaking excited about the path that you're on, and helps you celebrate every step of that path. Because a lot of times we sit back and we only focus on where we want to be. We only want to look ahead at what we're going to celebrate, and we forget that there's something right now that we're supposed to be celebrating. And maybe it is that God's not ready to give us that super victory that's coming our way. Yes, it's coming your way too, but He's not ready to hand that to us until we can really celebrate the moments that we're in and find purpose for where we are right now. So that's a little bit of an overview. You guys ready to get to it? Okay, so I'd love to know where it is that you call home. So I think it's really fun that God has just opened up opportunities for me to have the coolest friends all over. And then I forget that my son, he always asks me at the end of a training, he's like, hey, how did it go? And then I tell him, yeah, I sucked, or whatever I tell him, almost always. But then I tell him, and then he always asks, well, who were you talking to? Where did they live? He loves it whenever I get to tell him, oh, they were from Indiana, or this lady was from Maine. Oh my gosh. You guys, I knew this was going to happen. You want to know the raw and the real? I thought I might not tell you this until the end, but this is my setup in my grandma's bedroom. And I wasn't gonna, now I'm all red. I was gonna wait till the end. I was gonna make you think that I had it all together. So I traveled a long way away from home to go to my grandpa's funeral. And so I'm not gonna talk a lot about it because I'm really was very close to him. But anyway, so I'm in her bedroom. I'm 600 miles away from home, and they're all downstairs, lots of family here, and I'm hiding in her bedroom in the corner, propped up on a Sony, what do you call this, boombox. Anyway, I wasn't going to tell you all of that until I hit the step ladder and made it fall, and then I needed you guys to know what setup I have, which is a blessing all on its own. I'm watching these comments come in, looking at all these amazing places that you guys are from. Luke is going to eat this up. That's my little boy. He loves to know who I got to talk to and where they lived, and so I can't wait to tell him about where you guys are from. Anyway, but while I'm listening or watching all these cities and states come in, I want to let you know that it's such a blessing for, oh, I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry. I do not want to cry. But before I even get started, just because I'm already telling you, I was going to save this to the end. I was going to tell you where I was hanging out and show you my little setup. And just to let you know that we are so blessed to be able to work our businesses in the corner 600 miles away from home and be able to focus on positive whenever there's not a lot, when you wake up and you don't really want to get out of bed. Scentsy gives us that reason to push on and gets our minds off of what we can't control and onto what we can. And I'm so thankful for Scentsy, and I'm thankful for you guys in this opportunity. I'm going to jump right into it. I promise I'm going to go back and look at all the cities and states. He's going to eat that up. He's going to love it so much. But I want to go ahead and jump into this. I want you to stop for just a second, and I want you to picture yourself in 5 years. I don't want you to picture the wrinkles, because we don't want to go there, right? But picture yourself in your Scentsy business 5 years from now. I really want you to think about that for a second. And I want you to imagine yourself looking back. So you're picturing yourself 5 years from now, but in that moment, you're looking back at the last 5 years. And I want you to think about one thing. And I want you to think that, will the promotion that you're aiming for right now, will that be enough to make you feel successful in 5 years? I mean, like 5 years from tonight, as you're looking back on the last 5 years, is that promotion to director going to be enough? I mean, I really want you to dig down deep, because tonight we're going to dig deep, and I'm going to take you on a journey that might be completely different than what you've been on before. And I've been known to be a little outside the box. So just trust me, we're going somewhere with this. Ready? Okay. So what if it's bigger than having that director title behind your name? And I'm not going to lie, I remember how accomplished I felt whenever I had that director title behind my name. Hey, it's Laura Godwin, Scentsy Director. That felt good. Ooh, and then, hey, it's Laura Godwin, Star Director. That felt good. And Superstar Director. And Shining Star. That felt really cool when people would say, yeah, that's Laura Godwin, the 2016 Shining Star. That felt good too. But guys, when I look back on 11 years, but even in the last 5 years, none of those titles are the thing. I mean, Shining Star was kind of cool. Okay, I won't lie. But none of those titles are what defines success in my life. And so why are we chasing a title when at the end it may not be the title that actually makes us feel whole and complete and successful and accomplished? I just want to throw some ideas at you tonight that might make you think about a bigger picture. And these steps, this checklist, is going to get you to director. It's going to get you to superstar director. It's going to help you earn every single trip. I've earned every single annual trip every year of my Scentsy journey. Even that first year, whenever I was kicking and screaming, saying, this isn't for me. I only teach kids. I don't know how to teach adults. You know, like, I've earned every single annual trip. If these steps worked for me, there is no doubt in my mind it's going to work for all of you guys, because you all, there's no doubt in my mind that you all are so much further along than what I was. Okay, so when you look back on your journey in 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever, I think what is going to stand out to you is something way bigger than a title. It's going to be something way bigger than a paycheck. Although hitting 6 figures, I remember the first time I made a 6-figure income. And I just was so proud to take my 1099 to my CPA. And I just wanted him to make a big deal about it. And he didn't. And I just wanted him to know that this was a big deal to me. And he didn't. And in fact, he didn't at all. And so anyway, I just want to let you know that bigger than the paycheck, bigger than the title, bigger than the whatever number you're chasing. I wanted 1,000 people in my empire, and then I wanted 2,000, and then I wanted 3,000. And every time I've hit one of those milestones, it felt good, but I don't really know that it was enough. So let's talk about what makes it enough. We're going to take a quiz because I'm a teacher at heart, and I just want to take a quiz. And I don't think you'll need a pen and paper, but it could be cool if you wrote this down. And it could be cool if you jotted down maybe just maybe one word of each of the questions on the quiz, because it might help you go back later and take the same quiz again. And I hope you score even higher, like blow your old score out of the water. Ready? Let's take a quiz. I'm going to keep this easy, 10 points each. I'm also going to keep it easy, and I'm not going to ask you to prove your score. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. But this is between you and Jesus, you and your heart, and it doesn't have to be, it can be ballpark. Okay? So, ready? Quiz time. In the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. I can't even remember. This has been a blur. You get 10 points for every encouraging text that you've sent to anyone. Scentsy or non-Scentsy. Encouraging text. 10 points. Thanks, Trinity. 10 points. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I know some of you guys might be saying, Laura, this week has been terrible for me. Okay. I'm cool with that. It's been bad for me too. 10 points. Okay, moving on. You can put your points in the comments, but there's several questions on this test, so you may want to just add them up or keep track of it by putting it in the comments. That's awesome. Man, you guys are such rock stars, Lauren. 60 points. Fantastic. Okay, next question. Be honest. Jesus is watching. 10 points for every time you have sent a Facebook message to someone in Scentsy that you do not make money on. I'm going to say that again. 10 points for every time you have sent a Facebook message to someone in Scentsy that you do not make money on. All right. I'm trying not to go too fast. 10 points for every customer thank you. And I'm okay if you say, Laura, my way of sending thank yous is not the fancy happy mail that you do. Okay, that's cool. I'm not holding you to a standard. And if I did, it sure would not be my own. Okay, so 10 points for every customer thank you. How you doing? It's all right if you have to put zeros, because there are some days that we all have to put zeros. Hey, your next question, 10 points for each post in your uplines page, team page, or if you have your own team page, wherever your team is, 10 points for every post that you've done in that page. 10 posts for every, oh, I'm saying it wrong. You guys get me. 10 points for every post that you made in your uplines page or wherever it is that your team is on. Okay, moving on. 10 points for each time you commented or cheered on a fellow Scentsy consultant. Could be someone you have under you, over you, a Scentsy cousin, Scentsy second cousin, a Scentsy, I don't even know. My brain is a little fried, but you guys got me, right? 10 points for every time you commented or cheered on a fellow, like not liked a post, commented. Okay? Now, last question. I hope I didn't go too quickly, but I have a lot to cover. 10 points for condolences. And I think that's the right word. My brain is a little bit like not in Scentsy mode this week, if I'm being honest. And so I think this is the right word. But how many times do you skip over those posts that someone's saying, and it doesn't even have to be about Scentsy, but I just said condolences. So that means, I mean, look at my Facebook page. So many people have just like shined love in my heart. And some of them I don't even really know them or have tons in common with them other than we are Scentsy sisters, or I taught their kid a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that you got in the wreck. I'm sorry you got bad news from the doctor. Because a lot of times we love to celebrate with people, but it takes a true good-hearted soul to bear those burdens with one another, right? Okay? I think of Orville and Heidi. You guys, I had MRSA the other month. Like, I didn't even know what that was. It's a thing, and I had it, and it was awful. MRSA. And I got a card in the mail from Heidi, a handwritten card. The owners of Scentsy don't just have time to send flowers to people that hit milestones like Superstar Director or whatever. They don't just have time to send flowers to the shining stars. They have time to handwrite notes for just somebody in Scentsy that had MRSA. You know what I mean? Like, that is so inspiring to me. Moving on. We're done with the quiz. Write down your total. Put in the comments if you want, but I really challenge you in a few weeks, retake this test, taking the last 3 days into consideration, and just see. It's a good way to check the temperature of your humanity. So be a good human. That's one of my sayings. My Scentsy family hears that a lot. And it isn't just a saying. It's not just a motto. It's not just something we say to make us feel good about ourselves. It's the way we wake up every morning. And I hope that it will help you guys as well. So there are 2 parts to my checklist that I'm about to give you. We just took the quiz. And it's all right if you scored poorly on it, because you know what? Did anybody get on to you for what you didn't know when you could not know it? No, but you know what? When you know to do better, then of course you can do better, right? So I want to give you a little checklist now that we've gone through this quiz. Some of you guys might not be happy with your score, and guess what? There have been a lot of times in my life that I have not been happy with my score. No, I didn't have anybody to give me a quiz. I hold myself to a quiz, you know what I'm saying? But I want to give you a checklist. I have a lot of things to cover. Okay, well, actually, that didn't look too bad. I have a lot of things to cover. So we're going to talk about a little checklist to help us score really well. Sorry, I have to shift and not hit this makeshift phone holder that I have going. Okay, so some of the things that I'm about to give you are going to be things that are going to be in the be a good human category. And some things that I give you are going to be in the be a credible leader category. And guys, I'm not even going to lie. You can't, in my opinion, put a priority on being a good leader without being a good human. You know what I'm saying? So there are going to be a lot of things on this checklist that are going to fit one or the other or both. And I think more times than not, this checklist I'm about to give you is going to hit both of those categories. Ready? Okay. So when I started Scentsy in 2009, I should have failed. I have a long list of reasons why I should have failed. And when I look back, I don't like to really talk about myself a whole bunch, but I will tell you that of the long list of things that should have made Laura Godwin fail again at direct sales, one of the things, I didn't know anything about succeeding at direct sales, but what I did know and what I had been raised to do is to be a freaking good human and to serve. And there are so many times where, as I mentor today, as I mentor leaders all over the globe, sometimes I am not even really good at understanding who I'm mentoring, and I'm still trying to help them. And a lot of times I realize that until they learn how to serve and have a servant's heart, they might not ever be a good leader. And so I'm not saying that you can't get a title without serving, but God help you to get paid at title, and God help you to ever grow beyond. I mean, a lot of times I call it hit and run titles. You don't want to be a hit and run title person. You want to be a thriving. Wherever you are, you want to thrive. And you might get to your title of director, superstar director. You might even get to, earn that trip that one time or that 2 times by luck or by fates or by whatever. But if you want to stay there and thrive, you better learn to have a servant's heart. And so when I look back at my Scentsy journey, I did a lot of things wrong. I really did. A lot. I could give you stories that would make you giggle so much and feel really incredible about yourself, because my stories, they're pretty embarrassing. You guys, you can be amazing and flawed. You can be amazing and absolutely flawed and messed up and do things wrong and not have a good business sense and not be creative. You can do so many things just by having at your core a servant's heart. So one of the things that, one of the checklists is, who have I served today? And if you can't answer that question when you go to bed, I don't think you're going to sleep as well. But I love to get in bed, to crawl in bed, and I love to go to sleep meditating on the people that I got to serve. Whose life did I change? And it's all right if it was someone in your immediate family or something that doesn't have to do with Scentsy, but how cool is it that we can make an income and an impact? So I really feel like that as leaders, I really feel like that if you can get to the point where every single night when you crawl in bed, you can go to sleep thinking about somebody that you got to serve that day. And it just puts the joy in your heart. And then the next morning you wake up and you're already thinking about who you're going to serve that day, because it's a rinse and repeat method, right? Okay, I got to move on. The next part of the checklist, stop trying to motivate. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Why do we try to motivate people? It's not our job. Our job is to love them right where they are. And if they want to take it to the next level, great. We're there to cheer and congratulate and love them to the next level, but we aren't the motivators. And once you realize that, oh gosh, the burden is lifted. Because when I first got in Scentsy, I saw such potential in everyone. I wanted to motivate everyone to the next level. Not everybody wanted to go to the next level. And it wasn't in everyone's, I hate to say cards, but I don't know how else to say it. It just wasn't everyone's path to be where Laura thought that they needed to be. And that was so freeing the day I realized that it wasn't my job to motivate them. It was my job to love them right where they were. And if their inspiration and passion for Scentsy and for needing a paycheck, if that pushed them up, then great. But guys, it's exhausting when you try to motivate and when you take that responsibility, shuck that responsibility. It is not yours. Okay? All right. So, okay, here's another checklist. I did this in the early days and I still try to do it. You can't always duplicate. When my team was like 30, 40 people, it was easy to do a lot of serving. But now that my team is so big and I have almost 50 directors, and it's really hard to serve in the same capacity when your team gets really big. But here's something that all of us can do, no matter how big our teams are, no matter how busy our schedules are, and all the other excuses that we could stack on top of each other, right? You can send a message and you can say, I have 10 minutes with your name on it this Wednesday. What can I do for you? I have 10 minutes with your name on it this Wednesday. What can I do for you? You can send that to somebody one Wednesday every single month. Hit a new person, and that knocks out 52 people on your team. Once a week, 10 minutes. And most of the time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're going to tell you, oh, girl, you're so busy. I'm good. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is a fun little thing. And I don't ever like to go too far in my week without being able to send that message to somebody, okay? Another part of your checklist is to make sure you're participating. Remember I told you that these checklist things that I'm giving you, they fall under 2 categories. Hey, by the way, Stacey didn't tell me how long I'm supposed to speak, but I'm kind of thinking I should finish it up pretty quick, so I'm going to start talking really fast because I don't really know how long I'm supposed to talk. But I'm thinking that you guys don't want to be put to sleep, so I'm going to start talking fast and get through these notes. Anyway, you remember the credible leader parts? It's one of the biggest things that you can do for your Scentsy journey, period, because a credible leader also is a great consultant, and they play like it's hand in hand. And so a lot of these things are interchangeably going to be making you a better consultant, not just helping you get to director. We're not chasing a title, guys. We are chasing a place of thriving and a place of success. And I like to call it soaring in Scentsy, right wherever you are. As a star consultant, I want you to soar. As a director, I want you to soar. As a top 50 in the company for the incentive period, I want you to soar. You get what I'm saying? Like soar. And so anyway, so this next part is kind of simple. Participate. It's crazy. But do you know how insane it would be for someone to tell me how important church was? You need to go to church. You need to go to church. You need to go to church. Church is so important. Church will change your life. And then I go to church and I don't see them there. And then I go to church the next time. No, they're not there. Like, do you know how crazy that would be? Likewise, whenever we tell our teams that participating and doing Scentsy is so important, but yet you're not there whenever they do show up, that sends mixed signals and it's not so great. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are showing up on a Wednesday to talk to a long-winded blonde sitting in her grandma's corner, but it is true. One of the best things you can do to build credibility in your business is to make sure that you are participating and you are not quiet about that participation. So like you can go to so many different Facebook stories and so many people's profiles, and you can say, and they'll have pictures of, they were part of the Superstar Director Summit that was last week. They have pictures of that. They were networking and they were listening to the All Consultant Call. They were reading a new book in their Scentsy journey. They were in it. They were all in. You cannot expect to have a winning team if they don't see you winning first. And you're not going to win unless you participate. And there are ways to show participation and show your credibility without being braggy. And we'll talk about that in a minute because I'm not all about that life. Like, oh, show me an ounce of arrogance and I will be gone. Anyway, okay, so another thing that you can do, I want to tell you this. Okay, so here's another checklist. And there's a point to this checklist, so I'm going to give it to you real fast. I hope you guys can follow me. If you had two options and I handed you two options to choose from right now, you could follow me around for the day as I work my business, as I balance my life between Scentsy, CrossFit, homeschooling, church, serving in the community, and all the other things that we do as girls, right? You got to follow me around, shadow me, they call it. You could shadow me for a day. That's option number one. Option number two is listen to my very long-winded 15, 30, I don't even know how long I've been talking, minute Scentsy sermon. Which would you choose? You want to hear my Scentsy sermon or you want to follow me around for the day? You pick. Option number one or option number two, your pick. Well, I'm pretty sure that even though I don't see the comments coming in yet, I'm pretty sure you're going to say follow me around. Shadowing me. I would love to shadow Stacey, your Stacey. I'd love to shadow so many Scentsy rock stars that I network with, right? So, give your team what they want. Because what they want is also what you want. They want to see you in action, sister. They want to see you work your business, mister. They want to know how you're doing it. And I get a lot of people that'll say, hey, Laura, I would love to know what your routine is in the morning. They just want to know my routine. They want to know, I don't drink coffee. What do I drink? They want to know, when do I start homeschooling and how do I make time for CrossFit? And you know what I'm saying? Like, more times than not, people want to see how you do it. And they want to see what you're doing and not just what you're saying. And so I want you to ask yourself, when's the last time you gave your team what they probably really wanted? How can you do that? Well, you can go live. You can show them what you're doing. You can, there's ways to make sure that you're bringing them along on the ride. My Scentsy Join slogan is not like most people's. And I came up with it on purpose because I realized that it was making people run the other way whenever I'd say, will you join my team? Will you join my team? This was way back in 2009, 2010. People were running, and I changed it. And I said, do you want to do Scentsy with me? I really think you should do Scentsy with me. Like, girl, you got to do Scentsy with me. People started joining left and right. When I first started, I don't even remember how I brainstormed this idea. I think it was actually like an impromptu, like it just came out one day. And it worked, so I used it again. And again and again. Anyway, you won't ever hear me asking anyone to join my team, but you will hear me say repeatedly, girl, you should do Scentsy with me. Or, oh my gosh, why aren't you doing Scentsy with me already? You know what I'm saying? Like, doing Scentsy with me implies that they're going to get to be with me on this journey. Then I'm not just going to preach to them, do you have your order in? Or do you know you're about to cancel? No. Shadowing. Guys, I just found this new way to make Scentsy samples. You're never going to believe what this impulse sealer does. Or, oh my gosh, I'm learning a new way to do fundraisers. You don't have to open up the whole catalog. You can just do Scent Circle fundraisers. I'm learning all about it. I can't wait to share it with you. I mean, they want to do Scentsy with you. So hold off on the sermons. What's the saying? Nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah, do Scentsy with them. Figure out a way. Brainstorm it. Okay. Right now, what does love look like for you? When's the last time you asked that to someone, especially someone that you know was struggling? Maybe they joined Scentsy because they needed an outlet. Maybe they joined Scentsy because they were sad, needed a place to throw their energy to because maybe their relationship wasn't great. I've been there, have you? Maybe they joined Scentsy because they were lonely. Not everybody joins Scentsy for a 6-figure income. So, you could send one text a week to someone in your team that you feel like might be a little bit distant and just ask them, hey, I have a question for you. What does love look like to you today? The answers you get back are going to blow your mind. Okay. I want you, another part of this checklist, use the tiny method, please. Do any of you guys know the tiny method? If so, drop it in the comments. I learned this. The tiny method, it's changed a lot. And I can tell you the leaders that use the tiny method and the leaders that don't. So the tiny method is this: their interest, not yours. Oh, it's so simple. The tiny method means you don't ask them how many more orders they have to place for the month. That's not their interest. That's yours. The tiny method says their interest, not yours. Their interest says, Laura, maybe they don't want to become a lead consultant. Maybe they are wanting to just make Scentsy fun and just be able to, get free and half price things every now and then. And by me pushing them and making them feel obligated to recruit and to promote, maybe that is my interest, not theirs. Okay? Use the tiny method. Let that be a check before you get in your Scentsy vehicle and do big things. Check your tiny method and check yourself before you send that text. Check yourself before you write that post. Check your tiny method, okay? All right. ABCs. Oh, I love this one. I think you guys will too. So one day I was trying to figure out, as my team was getting bigger, how in the world was I going to be able to reach out to everybody, especially my customers. I never wanted my customers to feel dissed because Laura was getting big in Scentsy, And, I didn't want them to feel that way. And so I realized that there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and there's usually 31 days in the month. That's one letter a day with 4 days off for Sundays or weekends or whatever. And so I thought, man, this is cool. I could do all the A's on the first day of the month, all the B's on the second day of the month, this and this and this and this all the way. And then, some months, like some days like Z's and X's and stuff, you won't have to work very hard. But anyway, and so, hey, has your downline maybe not heard as much from you as you've gotten bigger? Maybe your customers haven't engaged with you. Maybe you could go to your Facebook VIP page or however you connect with your customers. And maybe on the first day of the month, you could just type in A and it will auto-populate all the names that start with A, and you could just go to their Facebook profile and just see, oh my gosh, they lost their dog. I could write them a note real quick. Or, oh my gosh, they just got a new house. I need to send them a congratulations and maybe a welcome home scent circle, you know. Oh my gosh, you can just you can keep track of people. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that you'll do it perfect. I'll be honest. There are some times where I've realized I never finished and I stopped at N. And then the next month I'm like, oh man, do I start with O's or do I don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be perfect. But guys, don't just like, post, comment, and then follow through. If your heart nudges you that, man, they deserve a handwritten card, or maybe they deserve flowers or whatever. Okay. I'm going to stop there. I get so excited and passionate about these. I could spend a lot of time on each one. Before and afters. Do your team see you hustling? Does your team see you hustling? Here's a fantastic way to show them your hustle. Go pull your September PRV from last year. Do a before and after, September 2019, September 2020, and then brag on your freaking customers. Brag on Scentsy. Don't brag on yourself, but say, oh my gosh, Scentsy is so amazing. Look, we get better and better. You know what I'm saying? Or my customers are killing it. I am so grateful for the people that show loyalty to my small business. Look at what just a year can do. I mean, you guys, there's not a drop of arrogancy or pride in that kind of post. And your team is going to say, dang, she's getting it. You know what I'm saying? Do it for your recruiting. I recruited 4 people all year last year. And this month, just since the new catalog launched, I've recruited 4. I'm just making up stuff to kind of help you. Don't just talk about your sales. Talk about a lot of different aspects of your Scentsy business. Okay, I'm moving on. There are 3 C's. Oh my gosh, I'm skipping so much. I just feel like my brain's a little out of whack. I'm gonna end with this. I wanted to end with 3 C's, okay? So, communicate, consistent, and cheer before coach. So kind of 4 C's, but communicate consistently and cheer before coach. And so I want to just hit on just a couple of these little ideas, and then I'm going to let you guys get back to your night. Communicate. 9 times out of 10, relationships fail because communication fails. I don't care what you have to do, honey. Get yourself in a good place with communication. You may do it wrong. Learn how to be better. You may not do it. Successfully. Talk to someone that you feel like is a good communicator. You may feel really uneducated. Have somebody proofread it. I don't care how you have to communicate. Just do it. Don't accept any excuses for good communication. Why a marriage fails? Usually communication. And sometimes money stuff. People fight about money. But communication is usually the top of the list. Okay? Why? Oh, I just could go on and on. I'm just going to stop. Just communicate, okay? Consistent. That's odd. Because a lot of relationships fail, friendships, marriages, even parenting issues, because people aren't consistent. Yeah, so we are really excited about doing Scentsy in the fall because it's so exciting. But then this spring or this January, it might be a little bit harder to send all those exciting, cheering texts because you have to work a little bit harder to find things to cheer about whenever it's not super exciting, like a J month, right? Do it anyway. Figure it out. Your Scentsy kids are worth it. Your Scentsy journey is worth it. You're worth it. Okay? So be consistent. It takes a really good human to be consistent when it's not easy to do things and you still do them. Okay. Cheer before coach. Man, I'm just going to tell you that when you are super apt to tell people what they need to do and show them like, well, Of course you're not doing this because you're not doing that. And well, yeah, you know, like you're so, like some people are just so in your face, like, well, this is how it is. And if you don't, just, you know, whatever, like their communication is like coach, coach, coach. And yeah, we do need to be good coaches. I get that. But in this business, we are working with a voluntary sales force. You know what that means? That means nothing that is holding them to you, and you can't fire them either. And so I'm going to tell you to be diplomatic. I'm going to tell you to cheer first. And it's sometimes hard to find something to cheer for when you're looking at someone that maybe isn't as much of a good human as what you think they should be. Or maybe they don't take their business seriously. It's really hard to find reasons to cheer. But I'm telling you, if you are ready to jump somebody's case about something, stop and ask yourself how many times you've cheered for them in the past. And if I'm being honest, I hold myself to the same standard, but I don't stop there with myself. I ask myself, when's the last time I've cheered for them publicly? And if I haven't, then I swallow my pride and whatever I want to coach them about, I swallow it because I haven't built that relationship enough. They don't deserve to be coached by me because I haven't cheered for them. And it is a motivator to me because I do know that some of my team does need coaching, and sometimes I do have to give tough love and be that coach for them. So it's a constant reminder, hey, I need to cheer a lot, because one day I may need to coach. And I need to sow that foundation and really plant those seeds of love before I have to get them good about something, right? You know, not that I get anybody good, but you get what I'm saying. Like there are some times where we really want to just be a little firm, but yet we've not planted those seeds of love yet. And so it's not well received. What's the saying? Hey, what is it? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Yeah, so put that sugar in first. I know this is crazy. You probably don't need me to tell you this, but I know I've had to remind myself of that too. So those are the C's: communicate consistently and cheer before coach. You guys, I can't wait to celebrate, not just director. Yeah, when I'm on my deathbed, I don't even think the day that I hit director will even be something I think about. Not even shining star, maybe. But you guys, when I think about the lives I've been able to change, those texts and those cards that come in that says, Laura, you changed my life. Laura, I'm a better person because I'm on your team. That's game changing. That is the good stuff. And yeah, making 6 figures is pretty darn good too. You know, like the money's good. But those are the moments that I realize I'm soaring in Scentsy. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm probably way over. Stacey's not ever going to, next time she's going to make it really clear, abundantly clear how long I'm supposed to speak for. But I hope that you guys have soaked up a little something that will change you and inspire you, make you wake up tomorrow morning like super excited about right where you are today, and not just make you excited about where you're going. Yeah, it's exciting there too, but let's celebrate what we can do today. All right. I love you guys. Keep me posted. I want to celebrate with you whenever you hit all these little milestones that make big differences. All right. Okay. Bye, you guys.